Next stop, Main Street.
Oh, come on. Come on, hurry. It's cool, we got it.
If you know anything about this, then you know why it's important to keep it alive. And that's why I want to talk about Multiversus. If you clicked on this expecting me to say that the game is dead, you're about to be disappointed because I'm about to do the exact opposite. This video is going to be about a silly little game called Multiversus, or really how this silly little game changed my life. I'll just say it plain and simple. Multiversus is the embodiment of my childhood. From the bare bones of it being a fun cartoon fighting game, to the straight implementation of my favorite IPs. I'm a huge fan of licensed games. Don't you guys remember the times when there was a tie-in game for almost every popular animated movie or show, and they were really fun to play? Mostly.
What the heck is up with this game? Are those paintings or windows? Geez, game designers, make up your minds.
I mean, thinking of the games themselves, it's so easy to slap a few familiar sprites over a familiar backdrop from your favorite show and then say it's related to whatever IP, especially for certain one-off titles that companies weren't expecting to gain traction or even had future plans for to begin with. I'm pretty sure the purpose of these games is just to make a few extra bucks off of those who are really interested in the material. It kind of makes me think of it as justified shovelware in a way, but there are some that really stand out. To think that there are developers who are particularly interested or in love with the said IP, so much so that they delved into its universe to create a fun experience while maintaining the creator's ideas from the original media. That is something truly special. And sometimes the team from the original movie or show gets involved, and they get to reprise their roles and genuinely build off their own stories with insights from the writers. I mean, seriously, how cool is it that Samuel L. Jackson recorded tutorial messages for the Incredibles video game? Hello?
Press this button to jump. The longer you hold the button, the higher you'll jump. Get it? Use your Incredipuncher. Don't forget that the more you charge, the more damage you'll do. Press this button to activate your Incredipuncher. Now, if you're low on health, don't sweat it. Just pick up a first aid kit.
Or just take a look at the Meet the Robinsons PS2 game. The whole game is supposed to stand as a prequel to the movie. Did we need a Meet the Robinsons video game? No, not really. Will I still play it? Why not? I mean, I have another argument regarding the similar concept, but we'll come back to that in a sec. Multiversus screams passion. Not only do I see the game pulling material from various sources, but also committed developers interested in respecting those same sources to ensure they're implemented properly. I mean, the trailer itself was already too much to wrap my head around. Multiversus? Cool name. I mean, the multiverse genre is slowly becoming oversaturated these days, but hey, what could this be? CGI trailer? This is either a mobile game or the greatest bait of all time. Sorry guys, you gotta keep in mind, my expectations are super low because we don't get stuff like this on the regular. Oh look, some of my favorite characters. Batman, Shaggy, Garnet, Harley Quinn, and their designs are pretty cool. Alright, got some voice acting from Kevin Conroy, Tara Strong, Estelle. Maybe this is a big project. A Super Saiyan Shaggy. Okay, hold on. Why are they touching meme material? This could be very good or very, very bad. But we'll see where this goes. Seeing all these famous characters on screen, I was just so curious to see what's hiding behind this animated trailer. You just showed me characters from at least 5 or 6 different franchises thrown into a fighting scenario with no gameplay footage. Now you got my attention. Now let's talk about the potential. What's so special about Multiversus? Who's making this game? Who's behind it? And what properties can come to it? Okay, Player First Games. It looks like a small but passionate team, and the game's being published by Warner Brothers. Interesting. Wait, it's going to include Warner Brothers characters. Oh geez, what other Warner Brothers media do I even know of? Okay, now that we know what we're working with, let's talk about examples. The prime example I'm going to refer to and bless your virgin eyes with is a little place called Cartoon Network City. For those who instantly recognize the bumper I showed at the beginning of the video, you're probably jumping in your boots knowing what I'm about to talk about. For those who don't know, Cartoon Network City is a CGI city filled with Cartoon Network characters interacting with each other. I'll just go ahead and say it. This is one of the greatest ideas of all time. Hell, I wish this place was real so I could live there. It really is just everything a kid can ask for. There are a lot of commercial bumpers filled with silly scenarios or predicaments you'd usually see these characters in, and they just perfectly capture the essence of a cartoon city. It is the home for toons, not just shown in its obvious name of course, but also presented by its locations, characters, and their behavior acknowledging it as well. It really helps bring the city to life. Okay, as I'm recording this, I just now discovered that OKKO had a crossover episode that resurrected Cartoon Network City. Why haven't I heard of this? I actually feel slightly better about this knowing that Ian JQ is behind this show, someone who's also worked on another one of my favorite shows, Steven Universe. Sure, you can easily draw these characters together in the same room, but referencing a forgotten era in a modern fashion is something a fan would do. Someone who appreciates Cartoon Network. Okay, I just watched the episode and I gotta say, it is a great example of what I'm looking for. The episode starts with an overhead view of Cartoon Network City in shambles. A new villain randomly appears. Striker. He's just looking for heroes to fight, so he literally just spawns KO in this world. No explanation, no plan, just KO is here now and must defeat the villain alongside other heroes. That is it. It's as simple as that. It doesn't need to be anything else more than that, and that's why it's so great. And the way it was used felt so casual. I can't help but believe that it's meant to be resurrected someday. When I look at Multiversus, I think the same feeling can come out of this game. The feeling of being home, being where you belong. The feeling that no matter where you go or how much time passes, this place will remain. Help keep these characters alive. Cartoon Network, Disney, and Nickelodeon were my top 3 favorite networks growing up, and I know there were a lot of other people's too, but the one that takes the cake over the rest of them would have to be Cartoon Network for me, but we'll come back to talk about those other networks later. But Cartoon Network was just full of so many funny and unique characters. There was always an entertaining factor you can get from any show, even if it wasn't your favorite. When they first started out, of course, it was just silly, nonsensical cartoons. But as time went on, a few creators dipped their toes in the world of serialized storytelling, and were amazingly capable of keeping the wacky cartoon aspect of their shows alive while telling a coherent story. And I didn't realize until recently how much of my favorite media is underneath the Warner Brothers name. It's actually incomprehensible how much potential this game has. I really can't get over it. Could it be possible to resurrect their old and lost characters too? I'm still a bit confused as to how all these tax write-offs work, but these stories deserve to live. Let them exist here, even if it's just in the silly form of a video game character. Maybe it'll give attention to these characters again, giving them a proper chance to become popular amongst a new demographic. All I know is that it's possible for these characters to be immortalized if they were given a chance. Quick little intermission. Tony just dropped an update on Multiversus returning, and it's 2 months away. I mean, I love waiting. I mean, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but what the f? 2 months? Oh god, it's the realization is starting to set in now. That's why I want to talk about nostalgia. You put my favorite characters on screen again, and then you tell me to wait 2 months to play them. What the f? I really can't get over that. What do I think makes Multiversus so charming? I think it's the nostalgia. There's countless references from Warner Brothers media littered throughout the maps, skins, voice lines, and even perks. It's hard to even refer to them as references, because the characters and series that are being pulled from are in the game. This is their game. It's a little bit similar to how I feel about Fortnite. Fortnite basically designed itself to welcome whatever they want. There are no Fortnite crossovers anymore. It's just what is. Not to mention the literal implementation of the multiverse in their lore. But hey, it makes sense. I messed around with my fair share of licensed games when I was younger. Anyone who has can tell you that these games can be surprisingly fun, despite coming from one-off titles meant to appeal to typically smaller audiences. There's even a portion of people that will be on their hands and knees begging for remakes or remasters of their favorite games. I'm one of them. Thank you, THQ Nordic. You are the best. I think my favorites would have to be the Cartoon Network games because, well, they appealed to me, especially over other competing studios like DreamWorks, Disney, and Nickelodeon. But going back to the Cartoon Network City era, there were a few games that came out around this time that revolved around this place. One of them being Fusion Fall. Fusion Fall gave the city even more life with an active player base, actually giving it a world for people to jump into and fight alongside friends and their favorite characters. I never got to play it myself, unfortunately. I actually have a vague memory of going onto the website to sign up. Yeah, I don't think my brain was at the learn how to use my parents' credit card level yet, so I gave up on it. I definitely remember seeing the commercials though. Apparently there are private servers that exist today to keep the game active within its dedicated fan base.
Fusion Fall is back. Experience the original 2009 MMO exactly as you remember it. Customize your avatar, team up with your friends, and save the universe.
And my other favorite game would have to be Cartoon Network Racing. Bless anyone's soul who knows this game because I love this. It has the perfect character roster from the early 2000 shows. This game also puts use to the city, giving you a cool map and iconic locations to race in. And all the racers have their own abilities and voice lines that can be seen and heard throughout the tracks. And even a bonus section that lets you unlock a free episode from some of the shows. Now, if this isn't supposed to feel like home, I don't know what is. And that brings me to my next point. Aside from Cartoon Network, there are a few other games that remain close to the worlds of their respective of shows. Again, bringing in that feeling of being home. And we were given gems like Steven Universe, Save and Attack the Light, Samurai Jack, Battle Through Time, the Ed, Ed and Eddie games, which are also a treat, the Kids Next Door game that I just found out about a couple months ago, and I still can't beat it, Ben 10, Protector of Earth, which is a game I used to play with my brother all the time, and Kingdom Hearts. Unfortunately enough, there were some good games coming out of the other networks too. Got a bunch of SpongeBob games, one of which is related to the movie, which is probably my favorite, a Ratatouille game. I won't explain anything else about it, but that it's just amazing and fun. You got the Incredibles entries, and their one random Lego one, I guess. Tron Evolution, which I hear is pretty good, but I still haven't got to play yet. The Cars games, can't forget those. The Nicktoon collab games, oh my gosh, those were so good. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which actually still get a few entries to this day. But then you have to reach into the sections of games that don't feel like home. Instead, they feel like a cheap knockoff being pumped out by some careless creators for the sole purpose of making some money off of you, even though that's what they usually were anyway. Hopefully you guys weren't cursed enough to try any of these games under the impression that they're a great video game adaptation of one of your favorite shows, because my god, I'm a victim to these horrible ass games. Cartoon Network Battle Crashers? Are you serious? Ben 10 Power Chip. Oh my god. The Teen Titans video game, which isn't the worst, but it lacks that umph. And then there's the DreamWorks games. DreamWorks, unfortunately, can't be a part of this conversation. I'm sorry, I'm just not compelled to dabble in any DreamWorks related games. I don't want to say their IPs aren't strong enough because that's completely false. DreamWorks has so many likable characters. I don't know why I think a game with its characters wouldn't be fun. I mean, I played and loved the Shrek 2 video game. No joke, that game is pretty fun. Shrek is good, Boss Baby is okay. I'd love to see the Guardians. Madagascar, obviously great. Same goes for Megamind. Flushed Away, Trolls, Home, The Bad Guys, the Puss in Boots movie, hello? These are good movies. I think it's just that these characters can be stronger in their own titles. Combining them for competitive means just feels so out of place, specifically in the DreamWorks region. Maybe it's because I haven't seen a game that implements all their properties in a compatible genre, or maybe some multiversal narrative would be better. I know people say stories are oversaturated with multiverse shit, but I honestly don't care if it's told well. I actually like the concept of DreamWorks characters being pulled from their own worlds to take on bigger threats, and then when it's all done, being sent back to their own homes. It doesn't have to be some crazy overarching plot that leads into the movies, but just a fun and silly good time with elements of a good DreamWorks movie. But until something like that comes out again, I don't think I'll be playing. I'll still try it if they make the game free though. Dear Player First Games, hire me. Just kidding, but not really. By some chance that this is viewed by someone on the dev team, please take a brief moment to hear me out. If the title of the rest of the video wasn't obvious enough, I want to see this game succeed. You guys give me hope. Hope that these kind of games can become more prevalent again. Hope that I can see my favorite characters come together in fun environments. Hope that these characters can be immortalized through something as unforeseen as a video game. I see this team is so passionate about utilizing the material's potential, and I feel the exact same way. I just want to help or contribute to this however I can. Even if it's just promo or you guys want me to wear Multiversus merch 365 days a year, I will do it. I think it's about time we put an end to the Smash formula standard and make way for the Multiversus meta. Working title. I really look forward to seeing what you guys clicked up, and I have a good feeling the wait was well worth it. So you guys know where to catch me on May 28th. But until then, it's back to the lab. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you really enjoy Multiversus, Cartoon Network, or my yapping in general, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below. All and any interaction is welcome and appreciated. What do you think about Multiversus? What do you think are some ideas they can add into the game? Do you think it can put other platform fighters to shame? Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you around.